Arbors, welcome to episode 5 of Dirt to Dish. We are over the hump, and never did I think there'd be this much drama in starting a garden this small. But nonetheless, we'll get through it. Gotta address the elephant in the room first. Unfortunately, in this village, if you're not producing, there's no room for you here. So, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for your, although they were small, delicious tomatoes. Surprised you even pumped out a few. It's just classic. You can't see it, but there's a little sucker going on right here. Some signs of hope, but we gotta move forward. We don't have time to wait. Thank you, but it's time to go back to the compost pile. Bon voyage, my friend. All right, the show must go on. We do have mouths to feed, and I'm pretty excited to bring these into the garden. Something different. I feel like we got the nightshades, but now we're gonna move into the legume and bean family. We have haricot verts right here. I was reading up, kind of doing the chat thing, asking what can we grow this time of year. It's late summer, fall will be here before you know it, and I was looking for something that could produce a high yield in a short amount of time because we've only got a couple more episodes left before we have to put something on the plate. So everything I read said beans are fairly easy to maintain. We might have to put some things for them to climb on, which is not a problem. And they yield a bunch. And I think it's gonna add just a nice mix up on the plate, give us a legitimate side. So hopefully these will start to grow out nice, but I think we got what we need to make that happen, and that's soil and root boost. This is also from Arbor, also organic. It is, the best way I can describe it is like a special shot for your plants. It kind of helps with the transition from, these containers, or if you had another pot, it kind of just makes it more comfy, gives it the energy and nutrients it needs to establish its roots. And I think it gives a good signal for the roots where to establish. And all you have to do is pour a little bit on the hole you just made, dab some on the roots, and then just pour some on the top once you get the plant in there. Give it a nice watering, and they should be off and running. I mean, everything else points to Arbor being the answer to our prayers. Everything else around us is taking off. One thing that's taken off behind us, but we'll get into that right after this. So let's put these into the ground, shake some of this around. Gotta get low for this one. Again, probably, most definitely should have gotten the raised bed maybe next year. But what I thought was a good thing, once again, ultimately is a bad thing. This is what a bolted lettuce plant looks like. I did the research. I think this is a trout spotted lettuce. Sounds awesome. Can't have it. But anytime you see one of these thick stalks right here, and you start to see the flowers, I mean, there's just a ton of flowering happening right now. It means it's bolted. It means that it wants out. What I've learned, plants are really resilient, and they've developed really cool ways of making sure that their species lives on, and this is one of the ways. I'm gonna assume that it was probably too hot when we added this one to the garden, and now you go see, it's moved into survival mode. So we're gonna take this out and we're gonna add something fun. As we know by now, I'm not an expert, but I'm gonna say this is probably not what you want your lettuce to look like. See some like white stuff coming out of it. I don't know if that was safe, but that's better. Would not recommend to anyone. So we're gonna go in a different route, more different than the beans. Instead of going above ground, we're gonna start to go below ground. So off the bench and into our garden, we've got carrots, which I'm really excited about. And we've got radishes. So We're gonna plant 2 rows of these. We're gonna start small. I think these would be really cool if they do really well here to bring them into the fall. We're gonna keep this going, kind of getting addicted. It's super satisfying. But I think they're on a nice crunch to the plate, and they say the longer you grow into the colder season, the sweeter they get. So I think that's gonna change it in a really cool way, break up some of the bitterness from the arugula and whatever else we throw into the salad, and give it a nice extra crunch. I love crunch in my salads, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in, add some more of that root boost, and then hit these all up with some water, and then we'll talk about some of the good stuff happening in here. There's a lot of it, so excuse me while I get my hands dirty. All right. Enough of the bad and the ugly. We're done doing some damage control. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about these. They're right in front of me, these green bean plants. I think it's gonna make me look like I know what I'm doing if all goes well. So tomato plant, eggplant, peppers, herbs, everything just took off as soon as we added that arbor fertilizer. I'm talking like overnight. I came back, there's a bunch of these yellow flowers in here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe a 7th or 8th in there too, of these tomatoes. So we'll have plenty when it comes to feeding everybody. And then we've got our eggplant just sprouted, 2 new babies. Welcome them to the family. Plenty more flowers on that. So maybe we get 3 or 4. Peppers went from yellow to green, like a nice shade of green. Maybe we'll start to get some height and produce more peppers, but we still got some forming, so all's looking well. And then the cilantro, I thought it was more of like a stemmy herb. Turns out it can produce plenty of leaves if you get the right nutrients to it. So we're okay in that department. The sage taking off as usual. And then you guys saw what happened to the lettuce. We're actually gonna take down the arugula next episode, because after some research, finding out that keeping lettuce on the plant for too long can kind of make the leaf a little leathery, textury, and bitter. And the arugula is bitter already, so we don't want to go down that route. So we're going to pull that. We're going to share it with some of our peeps in the office. So stay tuned. We got plenty more arbor products to go through, plenty more trials and tribulations and lessons to be learned in this garden. We've got about 2 more episodes to start and finish growing and cultivating and pulling some of this for this delicious meal. So stay tuned. See you guys next time.